Beautiful.
Today I'm pleased to be here with Minister Wong to announce that effective today, Sunday the 21st of September 2025, the Commonwealth of Australia recognises the State of Palestine. We have had in Australia a long-term position on a bipartisan basis of two states. One of those states is of course Israel, the other of course is Palestine. And this recognition being announced today in sync with our international partners, the United Kingdom and Canada, means that 3 of the Five Eyes nations are all making this decision today. This is the best chance the world has had in decades to disarm and isolate Hamas and deliver self-determination for the people of Palestine. This is a moment of opportunity for nations of goodwill to work together, to see the hostages taken in the atrocities of October 7, 2023 returned immediately and with dignity, to bring about an immediate ceasefire and to bring an end to the humanitarian catastrophe which is being inflicted on Gaza. Australians want the killing to stop. Australians also, of course, don't want conflict to be brought to Australia. And Australians want the people of Palestine and the people of Israel to know a future of greater hope, true security and real peace. Today we advance that cause. Tomorrow we continue that work. And tomorrow afternoon's conference being convened by Saudi Arabia and France will be the next step following the recognition which our 3 states are announcing today.
This will be an ongoing process. For now, what we will do is ensure that Australian government communications are updated to reflect this formal recognition. Official documents, public-facing websites, government systems, policies and operating procedures will refer to the State of Palestine or Palestine rather than the OPTs. Further steps will follow, such as establishing embassies to follow progress on reforms committed to by the Palestinian Authority. This gives effect to the commitment the Prime Minister and I made when we flagged announcement of this recognition. What we expect is reform in areas of education, governance, disarmament, democratic elections, and of course to ensure the exclusion of Hamas. There can be no role for Hamas.
We are seeing the Israeli government continue to provide support for illegal settlements and an expansion in the West Bank. We're seeing a catastrophic humanitarian crisis unfold in Gaza. The idea that Israel is just sitting back waiting to negotiate is not what is happening here. This is about the world saying enough is enough. We want peace and security in the Middle East. This is Australia playing a role here. And
so today, to revive the hope of peace and a two-state solution, I state clearly, as Prime Minister of this great country, that the United Kingdom formally recognises the State of Palestine. We recognised the State of Israel more than 75 years ago as a homeland for the Jewish people. Today, we join over 150 countries who recognise a Palestinian state also, a pledge to the Palestinian and Israeli people that there can be a better future. In the face of the growing horror in the Middle East, we are acting to keep alive the possibility of peace and a two-state solution. That means a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable Palestinian state. At the moment, we have neither. Almost 2 years after the barbaric attacks of October the 7th, hostages are still held by the terrorists of Hamas. Recent images show the hostages suffering and emaciated. Hamas even refused to release all the bodies of the dead. I have met British families of the hostages. I see the torture that they endure each and every day, pain that strikes deep in people's hearts across Israel and here in the United Kingdom. The hostages must be released immediately, and we will keep fighting to bring them home. Let's be frank. Hamas is a brutal terror organisation. Our call for a genuine two-state solution is the exact opposite of their hateful vision. So we are clear, this solution is not a reward for Hamas, because it means Hamas can have no future, no role in government, no role in security. Meanwhile, the man-made humanitarian crisis in Gaza reaches new depths. The Israeli government's relentless and increasing bombardment of Gaza, the offensive of recent weeks, the starvation and devastation are utterly intolerable. Tens of thousands have been killed, including thousands, the Israeli government escalating the conflict and settlement building being accelerated in the West Bank. The hope of a two-state solution is fading. But we cannot let that light go out. That is why we are building consensus with leaders in the region and beyond around our framework for peace. This is a practical plan to bring people together behind a common vision and a series of steps, including the reform of the Palestinian Authority, that takes us from a ceasefire in Gaza to negotiations on a two-state solution.
Écoutez, je voulais faire cette petite réaction parce que j'ai reçu depuis d'ailleurs des jours, des semaines, beaucoup de remarques, d'interpellations de votre part, parfois beaucoup de colère, de tristesse, quelquefois.
I absolutely have not forgotten the pain, the suffering, the distress of all the families of the victims of Gaza and those who are living today under bombardment without access to humanitarian aid. And ultimately, all lives are equal, and behind that, we have stolen lives, lives taken away, people who are suffering. What France wants is an immediate ceasefire. What France wants is for the 48 hostages to be released without delay. What France wants is the return of humanitarian aid to Gaza. What France wants is a possible tomorrow in Gaza, with Hamas dismantled and removed from power. What France wants is a reinvented, renewed Palestinian Authority, school curricula that will not teach hatred, and the conditions that will allow peace at the heart of this Palestinian Authority. What France wants are two states living in peace side by side, a state of Israel that recognizes a state of Palestine, a state of Palestine that recognizes a state of Israel, a state of Palestine that will be demilitarized and that will live in peace alongside Israel. This is what we will achieve on September 22nd in New York.
Un État de Palestine qui reconnaît un État d'Israël, un État de Palestine qui sera démilitarisé et qui vivra en paix aux côtés d'Israël. C'est cela ce que nous allons faire le 22 septembre à New York. Cette reconnaissance, c'est le début d'un chemin. C'est un parcours, avec toutes ces conditions, ces exigences pour les parties prenantes. Et au fond, c'est un parcours, un chemin pour la paix, pour sauver des vies et pour essayer ensemble d'être à la hauteur de ce que nous nous devons, la dignité humaine. Merci beaucoup.
Hoje, dia 21 de setembro de 2025, o Estado português reconhece oficialmente o Estado da Palestina. Reafirma, nesta ocasião, o direito do Estado de Israel à existência e as suas efetivas. A declaração de reconhecimento não apaga, todavia, a catástrofe humanitária em curso na faixa de Gaza. O governo português tem repetida e insistentemente condenado as restrições à entrada da ajuda humanitária, a situação de fome gerada, a deslocação forçada de populações na faixa de Gaza. Daí que Portugal tenha participado ativamente na preparação dos Estados ocidentais que ao longo do tempo partilharam posições nesta matéria. Neste dia em que Portugal reconhece o Estado da Palestina e em que reafirma a sua vontade de fortalecer as profundas e antigas relações de amizade do povo português com o povo israelita e as renovadas e auspiciosas relações de amizade com o povo palestiniano, exortamos do fundo dos nossos corações a que cessem todas as hostilidades, a que se dê uma oportunidade ao restabelecimento da plena ajuda humanitária, a que se abra uma fresta de luz para a paz.
Two-part question. Why did you wait till now? Why haven't you done this sooner? And also, are there any conditions that you are...
O governo português escolheu simbolicamente fazer esta declaração na representação permanente de Portugal na ONU, precisamente para dar o sinal de que só sob a égide das Nações Unidas e do espírito da sua Carta Fundadora é possível alcançar uma solução para o conflito. Ataques terroristas de 7 de outubro, o Hamas e todas as organizações terroristas. Portugal preconiza a solução dos dois Estados como única via para uma paz justa e duradoura, que promova a coexistência e a convivência pacífica e profícua entre Israel e a Palestina. O governo português reafirma, nesta ocasião, o direito do Estado de Israel à existência e as suas efetivas necessidades de segurança.
E que vai intensificar a ocupação da Cisjordânia.
Bom, the recognition should have some meaningful effect. And when we see the agreement that was possible in this high-level conference, where we have the Palestinian Authority accepting to condemn the terrorism, to recognize Israel, to have a setup of institutional conditions and elections, and by the other hand, we have the Western states giving this step of recognition, and finally also a quite important number of Arab states that are, I'd say, they have the disposal to recognize Israel. This is a substantial, a practical, a very pragmatic and visible effect of the recognition. Muito obrigado.